Okay, so I'll admit it, I have been sucked back into the Apple ecosystem, not as a fanboy, but as somebody who just enjoys how all of their products work together. So much so that I recently picked up an Apple Watch Series 4 in November. I think it was November 27th. So I've been using it for just a little over a month now. So this video is not intended to be your typical review, just kind of go over the features and the design aspects and just kind of be done with it. I'm here to tell you about my experience and whether it's been worth it to me or worthless. In other words, useful or useless. So the model that I'm rocking is the 44mm Space Gray. It starts at $429. This is the non-cellular version. I got it with the Velcro kind of cloth black band because I think it looks nice, but it's also super easy to put on and conforms perfectly to my very thin wrists. This is the first watch to actually fit me perfectly without sliding up and down, so that is a plus. And as a lefty, I actually wear this watch on my right, which I thought was going to be a problem, but having the digital crown on the bottom left really isn't an issue for me. After a few hours of using it, I figured out how to use the watch intuitively and easily, so if you're in my similar situation, don't worry. You don't have to worry about using it on a hand you don't like. It'll be fine. Just trust me. And speaking of interaction, the digital crown, especially with the Series 4 with the new crown haptics, is incredible. I love using it when scrolling. It just offers a really tactile and precise feel when you're interacting with different UI elements. Love it. Honest to God, probably my favorite feature of this watch. It just feels really cool when you use it. Beyond the crown, you have the side button, which functions to trigger your multitasking switcher, which is a great feature, by the way, with watchOS 5. Also, it toggles power and SOS if you ever, God forbid, need to trigger that. The display on this device is excellent, truly a pleasure to use. It's OLED with super rich blacks. It has the same pixel density as the iPhone XR, and it's super bright. You can actually use this for a flashlight feature, which I find really useful on numerous occasions. In regard to battery life, I initially thought it was going to be kind of terrible considering the size of this device, the brightness of the display, and the power of the processor or the system on a package inside. I also heard some terrible things about the Series 0, but I'll tell you in short, this thing gets excellent battery life. It'll last you 2 days easily. You can sleep with this on. It charges really quickly with this convenient little snap-on wireless charger that Apple provides. The battery life is truly excellent, and I cannot express that enough. Lastly, in regard to the actual body, the chassis of the Apple Watch Series 4, I was impressed with it when I saw it in the keynote, and I'm even more impressed with it in person. I've compared the Series 3 and Series 2 with it in Best Buy. It truly is refined compared to its predecessors and fits on your hand really nicely. I love the rounded aspect of it. It's thinner, and it just has a really killer aesthetic. So with all that out of the way, let me tell you how I use this watch on a day-to-day basis and help you determine how useful it really is. So the first function that I use all the time with this watch is messaging. iMessage is already great enough, but Apple has made it even better with watchOS 5, compared with your phone. I love texting people on my watch. It's super convenient. You can respond in really easy ways. You can actually dictate or literally spell out words on your watch, which sounds like a terrible idea, but once you use it, it actually works really well. You can send straight up emojis, and Apple also has a list of common responses you can choose. You can also send little drawings and little heartbeat things. So yeah, iMessaging on the Apple Watch is not only super intuitive, but it's very convenient, especially in situations where pulling out your phone isn't necessarily appropriate, like for example, in school. Not going to say any more than that. My second favorite or most used feature is music toggling. I have Spotify as my music streaming service of choice, and I also have the app right on my watch, so I can literally pop in my AirPods, not even pull out my phone, and be playing a recent song in literally 10 seconds. It's really convenient to be able to toggle and also control volume with the digital crown. Super great, and that also works when you're not only just playing on your earbuds, but on external speakers as well, so you can literally control music right on your wrist, once again without touching your phone. My third favorite or most used feature on the watch is Siri. You can trigger it hands-free with the Hey Siri command. And look, I just did it, oh my God. But yeah, with Siri, without even touching my phone, I can check the weather, I can pull up a quick statistic, I can crunch a number, I can send a message or set a reminder. Anything Siri can do, you name it. I love being able to do it on my wrist without having to pull out my phone. The fourth and final most used feature on my Apple Watch that I want to talk about is phone functionality. I love being able to answer the phone and talk to, my sister, my mom, or my dad. Just basic interaction, stuff where you don't want to actually have a long chat on my watch like Inspector Gadget, especially around the house when I might not want to pull my phone out of my pocket or I don't have it on me. I can just answer the phone convey my message or listen to whatever I have to listen to and hang up. It's also nice when you answer FaceTime calls when you have AirPods in. You just can, answer the phone without having to pull your phone out of your pocket once again. You can also call people directly with the watch, especially if you have the cellular version. Literally, you can toggle recents. You can actually type in numbers with the integrated keypad. It's nice to be able to make calls with the watch as well. So in short, it's super convenient when you don't want to pull your phone out of your pocket to make a phone call or to receive one, when you literally can't pull it out of your pocket, or when you don't have it on you at all, especially in the case if you have the cellular version. Oh, and one other thing that I want to add, this is not necessarily scripted. You can also play games on the watch. I have Pong that I play in situations where I literally have nothing else better to do than twiddle my thumbs, and it has started conversations. People think it's really cool that you can play a little game on your watch. I'm sure there are tons of great little mini games that you can buy, I think 2048 versions, and once again Trivia Crack and little simulators and whatnot. I've seen people play Nintendo games or whatever emulators on the Apple Watch. It's pretty cool stuff, but yeah, long story short, you can game with the watch, and people, I don't know, I think it's pretty cool. So now that you know how I use my watch on a day-to-day basis, I just want to talk about interface for a minute. I really like it. watchOS 5 is really refined, and it's super quick and fluid with the S4 system on a package and the integrated 16 gigs of storage. One gripe that I do have though is the lack of third-party watch faces. I hope to God Apple will allow that in the future, but the ones that Apple provides are more than enough for now, I guess. Not ideal, but you'll find one that you like, I guarantee it. So all in all, the Apple Watch truly is an extension of your iPhone. It enables you to send texts, check the weather, do a ton of different functions without pulling your phone out of your pocket, which is something I really do enjoy. But is it useful, you might ask? And I will say, objectively, yes, it's useful. It allows you to once again interact with your phone without actually touching it, especially in situations where you don't want to or can't necessarily pick up your phone. But is it worth it? And that's where I have to draw the line. I have to say it depends on the individual, their budget and their level of tech savviness. So if you're a tech head and you have the cash to spare and you found any of the features that I mentioned to you slightly life-changing, I totally recommend you pick one of these up. If you have an iPhone, you will not be disappointed. On the other hand, if you realistically cannot afford this watch, I wouldn't get it because, I think you can save your money and spend that on better things like AirPods or maybe a new phone. And I also wouldn't recommend it if you view this as a mere kind of Inspector Gadget little toy. You won't get the most out of it, and it'll be effectively useless to you. So yeah, that about wraps things up. That is my take on the Apple Watch Series 4. I'd really appreciate it if you'd leave a like in the video, comment if you have any questions or suggestions, and subscribe for more content like this. And as always, I'm Noah, and I will catch you all in the next one.